Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of BC's Market Update. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 1:35 p.m. local time. I hope you're having a good day, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Let me start off by giving my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is to be used for entertainment purposes only for your fantasy paper trading. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start off on our chart that we've been using for quite some time now. This is the daily view, and then once we look at the macro view, we will then go into the hourly and the 4-hour time frame to look at the smaller time setups and the validation and invalidations that are shown to us on the smaller time frames to confirm those moves as they're happening. So just to give you a quick recap from the last video that I had was a harmonic pattern completion at the $53,950 level, somewhere in there. Obviously, there is a margin, a little bit below, a little bit above. But so far, we've gotten very close. We got as close as 55,541. However, that is too much of a margin for what I'm looking for. I think a little bit closer, whether it is the bottom of the diagonal channel or the actual harmonic pattern completion, it would suffice for a relief bounce. However, we do have more downside objectives. There's two objectives to the downside that I'm looking at. There's a liquidity grab at $51,500, and then there's the DCT heat map. Let me show you this. There's these two liquidity zones here. So we've got 52,250. Well, the completion of that, better said, is 51,250, and the completion of this bottom is 49,750. So in that $50,000 area range. Those are the two areas that I'm still waiting for, that I've been waiting for since that drop happened a month a month ago. Excuse me for 1 second. Let me pause the video. Sorry about that, guys. I'm fighting a cold, and I get into these coughing spells, so I didn't want to cough on the microphone. So, like I said, this would be the completion of the harmonic pattern for a bounce. However, the bounce would probably be somewhere short-lived. I would say maybe somewhere in this zone in here for a continuation down in here. Now, I know there's many people that are calling for, like I mentioned before, below $49,000 targets. I'm not going to entertain that until we close a full candle body and open a full candle body below $49,000. Until then, I'm looking for more upside. I apologize that I sound like a broken record, but I have to keep on reminding people, because every day I go on Twitter, and all I see is the same doom and gloom, like we do every time we drop. Nothing has changed, not even in the past not only in the past 5 months, but since I've been in this space, it's always the exact same thing. People always think it's going lower, and it very rarely does. And that's the comical part about it. Very rarely does it go down as low as people anticipate. So for now, until we invalidate this idea, my idea stands that we are going to be hitting this as a finale. Before we start breaking into the upside into those $69,000. Well, this one's $67,000 target, and then into the $69,000 target, and then into the all-time highs, which, if we look back at a few videos and what I said about the seasonality is there for a reason. When you have as much data as we have proving that September is a very, very bearish month, and here we are, September 5th, and what have we done since September 1st? Gone down. We have not gone up at all. So there's a reason why they have those charts. There's a reason why the probability is that we're going to have a red month, and nothing is different. So with that in mind, everything I'm talking about here fits absolutely perfect to that seasonality. So we're going to spend the next few weeks bottoming out. Then October seasonality has something like, 12 green months to 3 red months for the history of Bitcoin, just like the opposite for September. And this being a bottom, this being rounding out the end of September into October, meets the seasonality that we go through. Now, people like to wonder, well, why does that happen the way it does? Guys, it is no different than any tool that we utilize in trading. You have to understand that, for instance, the Fibonacci retracement rule that I often use on my videos. Those levels are there for a reason. You have to understand that those levels measure human emotion. Red candles and green candles, these candles, they represent fear and greed. Humans don't change. Patterns don't change. So when you have a large group of people all feeling, the majority feeling the exact same thing at the exact same levels, it's not that difficult to pinpoint with a reasonable margin of error where things are going to go. Which is why if you zoom out and you look at this, how do you not see the same pattern repeating itself? Look at the similarities. Look at the drop, and this is why we can put these types of channels and watch them play out with a high degree of accuracy, because it's the same exact emotions. People will get uber bullish here, which means that they long, which means what? These contracts start to pile up. Here, let me give you an example real quick. September 4th, we had $8 billion in short liquidation contracts. What does the contract? What does the market do? That day, they go up and they wipe everything out. Then they go back down. The exact same thing happens. Now there's $7.15 billion in short liquidations. What do you think is going to happen very soon? Just like it did here, just like it did here, and just like it has been on almost every video that I show you guys. Nothing changes, guys, because it's human behavior. Humans will always get fearful down here and always get bullish up here. So when they get bullish here, they long, market comes down. That's how they get paid. They come down here, people get ultra bearish, they start shorting, market goes up, they liquidate them, they get paid. This stuff is not difficult at all. You can probably train a monkey to do this. It is so simple. And yet people will look at this and be so confused on what's going to happen next, when all you need to do is look to the left. This drop, I talked about it 2 or 3 times last week. We're doing the same thing. Nothing has changed. Look, this drop is the same as this drop, is the same as this drop, is the same as this drop. And we're going to that same drop right now. That's why it's so easy to measure these movements. It becomes more difficult for people because most people are doing this. They're looking at the small time frame. And of course, they see this and think, oh, that's it, we're going back, we're going back. When all you need to do is go to a higher time frame, drown out all the noise, look at levels. Let's see. We reject, we reject, we reject, we reject, we reject, we reject on this yellow line. On the bottom of this line, we pump, we pump, we pump, we pump, we pump, we pump, we pump. We're approaching that line. What do you think is going to happen? I can't figure this out. I think we're going to $30,000. That's how ignorant people are. Every time we come down here, people want $20,000, $30,000 targets. You can go to the timelines on Twitter and see. And yet, every time we go to the bottom of this area here, what do? We go right back here. And every time we go right back here, what do people say? Oh, here it is, here it is. We're going to all-time high. It's comical at this point. It really is. The ignorance is comical. Look at where we're at. Look at the posts. Go on your timelines, guys, and find out how many $30,000 posts you're seeing. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that people cannot look at a chart like this and carve out 2 simple lines. One here, one there, and watch what happens. That fucking simple. Now, I have a bunch of different lines only because I'm a day trader. So as a day trader, I'm able to capitalize on every single one of these moves, even within these candles that you don't see the moves happening. And let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Here's an hourly time frame. And these moves here, when it hits these bottoms of support, what happens? We pump. What happens when we lose an area of prior resistance without back testing it? We back test it. We short. Look at this area here, guys. This was my plan that I talked this morning with my teams, and we were falling at the time. We were falling here. I told them what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a move up into this area here to short for the downside targets. If we happen to break above and we back test it, then we will add to our shorts here. Or you can close your short from here and you can go ahead and open it here. I told everyone this is going to be an automatic short. I have my limit order waiting here. Guess what the market did? I've got hundreds of people who put buy orders here. What do you think happened? Look, the high of this candle was $57,350.00. This is a $1.3 trillion asset. It stopped on a penny. Why do you think that happened, guys? These orders here, the market knows that it's going down. I mean, it's obvious. There's no question that it's going down. So market makers say, well, I don't want to pay these guys. Yeah, all these guys here waiting to get filled. They stopped it at $300, $250 to be exact, below the target that we had set up. All right. So what we do? Well, we cancel it and we market buy. We market buy, and guess what? We're nice profit. This gold line here, I put this gold line here as a plan C. So plan A was this, plan B was this, and I told them that plan C is going to be, if we can't even make it up to here, then because we took profit on our shorts this morning, and I closed them, and we're going to open them back up here and back up here. However, if we break below the gold line and we back test this gold line and we start rejecting, I'll get back into my shorts. However, on this drop here, I ended up closing my limit order, and I put my post that, hey guys, I went ahead and just market bought and went short. So it was a beautiful play. We all made money. We understand that these moves here, you see this move here? I told everyone on my Telegram group, don't worry about those moves. And I walk them through everything. That's a $25 a month channel that I have. I walk you through. I tell you, don't worry about this. Don't get paranoid. The reason we're going up is because so many of us are short. The market makers are going, as we drop, the market makers are just going to go for those high dollar late short that are 100x $1 million contracts. And then once we come back and we back test this areas, we'll come back down. Don't worry about it. I don't show them this because my Signal group is not about education, but on my Discord group, we look at this. And let's see. Let me show you what that looks like. I'll show right here. Let me show you what that looks like. I mean, I can go back and show you the same thing. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me come up. Actually, I could do it here. Look, let me show what happens when we drop. That cluster that I showed you was right here. So as we're dropping, these guys want to outsmart the market. So what do? They go and they open up these are 100x contracts, this olive color. 32 million, 100x, 38 million, 37 million, 53 million, 35 million, 94 million, 104 million, 119 million. So when these contracts are opening, we know what's going to happen because we're watching this as it's playing out. As these contracts are coming up, it's giving me a directional bias on what's going to happen next. And what's going to happen next is the market's going to go up and it's going to liquidate all this. Within 10 minutes, we started moving up and they liquidated 30 million, 119 million, 61 million, 38 million, 104 million. Look, see all these lines? See where they end? Let me just zoom in for a second because you have to see how comical this is. Look at this. They literally go up. I'm going to zoom in just to this little tight area here because you guys have to understand how this stuff works. They pumped it up just to knock out these two contracts, and then look what they do. They bring it down. Look at that. They play with the market. They gas up, and they go right back up to the next cluster. Then they bring it back down. They go right back up to the next cluster. Then they bring it back down, all along putting higher highs and higher lows in the 1 minute time frame. And look, surely, I can't even speak. Surely, there's a saying I was going to use, but I'm too exhausted right now to even think about it. My OCD is not letting me let it go. Give me 1 second. I can't figure it out. Anyhow, all these higher highs are taking each one of these contracts out. Look at this. Every one of those contracts was taken out. This is how the market makes money. This is why the market doesn't just go straight down. It may seem like that when you're looking at the daily time frame. If you're a swing trader, this is all you care about. If you're a day trader like myself, you want all of these moves. You need all of these moves for verification. When we pumped up here, I put a notice, I put a post, hey guys, this is what I'm going to doing. I'm adding to my short because I understand that we're not going to reverse. We're not reversing. We're just merely taking out the contracts. Now, I'd explain. I don't explain to them in detail why, because again, this my $25 a month is not educational. That's my Discord is for, but I know why, because I'm looking at these things here. I'm looking exactly at why they're doing it and what they're going after. I don't give them that type of detail because it's only $25. My Discord group, I show them how to trade off of those contracts. I show them how to look at the broader pictures and look at the liquidation data to have a very high probability why these are going to be taken out. I showed you this. If you guys go back to my market updates back in beginning of August, pick any one, August 7th, August 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, any of them. As we were going up here, I said, okay, that's fine. We can go up all you want, but we are going to come down here. I would rather do it sooner than later. And hopefully, if they can do it sooner, we can actually have a green September. But if we don't, and they take this out in September, then we're going to spend the rest of September down in here, bottoming out, and then we're going to follow the seasonality chart. Please prove me wrong. If you can prove me wrong, I will give you a free year in my Discord. If I did not say that in any of those videos, call me out. Call me out, and I'll give you a free on both of my services, a whole entire year. You won't find it. You won't find it. And how did I know this? Because this is the exact same play. I play here, I play here, I play here, I play here. Nothing changes. It's the same exact thing. People are always sending me DMs and posting comments. BC, that was an incredible call. Your calls are on fire. And I appreciate it, but they're not my calls. That's what people don't get. I don't take credit for this. This is not my calls. This is the market makers' calls. All I know how to do is recognize what the market makers go for. That's all I do. And then I take that information, I go to my $25 a month group. I say, hey, you want to buy here and you're going to want to sell it here. And when there's an opportunity like this to add on, fucking add on. And I tell them, you know what? You don't have to add on. I want to let you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Because I believe that this is just a short liquidation. A long liquidation. No, I can't think today. A short liquidation because people are going short, so they want to liquidate the shorts. A short squeeze, basically. I apologize because I'm still not feeling very well, and things are still a little bit fuzzy. But you know what I'm talking about. So I told them exactly that, so that they don't feel like they have to. And with time, when they see the accuracy, they'll have more confidence to do it next time. On my free Telegram, I gave this call out as well. So once in a while, I will give out call outs on my free Telegram. That's the BC calls. And then the Telegram is the other one with you need the link to access. So I gave both of my teams, both of my Telegram channels. So hopefully you guys that are listening to this got in it and made money, just like you did last week when I called for this drop. Hopefully you guys are listening and playing it. If you're not, I don't know why. I don't know why you're not playing it. If you don't have the confidence yet, then yeah, that you don't have to. But at some point, you have to realize that this stuff is not that difficult. And you have to realize that if you find someone that is calling you with this much accuracy, put $5, put $20, try it out. I'm not saying my service. I mean, you want to do my service, great, but trade with the free signals and see what you can do. No one can say you're not making money with the free signals. It's impossible. Everything's timestamped there, and you can easily fact check me. So once again, today I called out on my free and on my 25 month. The only difference that on my 25 month we went into 3 alts and we're killing it. Let me tell you what our ROI is on our alts. We haven't gotten out of those positions yet. On one of them, I'm at 48.44%. Those who are listening to this are in my $25 month. They're smiling. And this is with only a 5X. Some of these guys are degens and they use more. Hopefully they don't. With just a 5X, I'm at 48.44. On the other alt, I'm at 17.82%. And on my other one, 13.74%. So you're telling me they paid 88 cents for today. That's what 25 months comes out to. And with those 88 cents, you're telling me that they're not making money with, that's not even including the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin short that we're in. Just to give you an idea. And yet there's people still thinking about, I don't know, should I join? It's $25. I don't know, 88 cents. Can I cover 88 cents a day? Can I make money with these calls on a daily fucking basis? I don't know. You people come into this space wanting to learn, and yet you follow somebody who has a proven track record, who can go to any one of my videos, go back and listen and watch it play out. And I often tell you guys, go back to my videos from 2-3 weeks ago. That's the best way to fact check somebody. Listen to what I said for that day, open up a chart and see what happened. Did it play out that way? What was the validation point? What was the invalidation point? I very seldom just give you one projection. I always give a second projection because, like I told you, I don't know which direction is going to go. So I have to wait for those validations. That's why I gave these validations here, and I gave this as an example because since we exited our short position down here, I wanted to make sure that if it continues to go down, that we get back in and we continue to ring the cash register. And in order to do that, I need to see a rejection off of here. But what did we end up getting? We end up getting a really nice push. We got back in and we were able to load up again, have more confidence to load up on this candle. Now we're sitting really nice in profits, not only in our alt positions, but in our Bitcoin positions as well. And there's still more to go. So imagine that altcoin that I called out, that's 48% in profit, is still going to drop like a rock when Bitcoin comes down into that $54,000 and $51,000 area. And you didn't want to pay 88 cents for that call. Oh my God, it's just fucking comical. All right, guys. So for today, what I am waiting for is for this to play out, to come out here. The market's never going to make it easy. It's never going to go straight down. It has to come up and knock out these guys who want to act like they're smart in the market. So let me just reset real quick, and let me give you the local. Let me give you the local view. So because all of these contracts are still open up here, I can see another move here. And you know what another move here would mean? More that I get to add to my short position. Even more. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Now, as far as long positions, if you guys want to know where to long, here, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you for free. And I'll show you how I plan it out and how I play it out. First of all, I respect the market enough to know not to go crazy with my leverage. If you look at real traders, real day traders, you can tell who's a real day trader by their leverage positions. So when I see posts on X on guys using massive amounts of leverage, one of two things is going on. They're literally using $5 positions, which is why they'll use like 100X or 50X or 80X. Or two, they don't know what they're doing. Because anyone who's using any type of substantial amount of money and has been doing this for long enough knows that A buffer is your best friend. And a buffer is only created by your X factor. So let me give an example. I have a limit order in 3 different places. I have a limit order right here at the bottom of this harmonic pattern. I have another order right here at $51,500, and then I have another one at $49,000. Because if we do get a sweep, like I said before, usually it's $100 to $300. I don't know, and I'm not going to try to guess. But I got 3 limit orders down. Each one of these limit orders is going to lower my average to my long position. And because I'm using a 5X, my liquidation, so when you put your first limit order here, guys, it'll tell you where your liquidation is. And then if you're using the same exchange, when you put your second limit order here, it'll tell you what your new, it'll factor in that you already have one limit order here. Your new limit order is going to be here, and it'll factor in your liquidation. By the time it's all said and done, if I get all of these 3 filled, my liquidation is at $30,000. I think I'm okay. Hold on. I think it's 31,000. It's in the low 30s. It's in the low 30s. I don't know the exact number, but it's in the low 30s. My point is that I have enough buffer that I don't have to worry about getting liquidated. There is enough time and enough support looking left that I'm willing to take that risk. Let's talk about worst case scenario. What do you think is the worst case scenario if I'm wrong and we are going to go down to that $30,000 level? Do you think it's going to go one straight candle? Or do you think it's going to do what it does in the past 14 fucking years when we have a big drop? And you can go left on the chart, go use the USD index that has the entire history of Bitcoin. Look at the daily time frame and look at the falls and what happens when we fall. I talk about it every single video. On the back test of this swing low, it rejects and goes down. I take my loss. Simple as that. I take my loss and continue to short and reopen my short again. So people often think that you're going to enter this and you're not going to have any risk. Oh, I don't want to place. What if I'm going to lose? Every single trade you open, you have to think you're going to lose. Every trade, you have to think you're going to lose. You're not going to think you're going to win. Why is that? Because if you think that you're going to lose, it's going to do, first of all, it's going to help you manage your position size, first and foremost. If you think you're going to lose, how much can you afford to lose in this trade? Shit, I only want to lose no more than $1,000. Okay, well then you know your margin can be more than $1,000. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is, if I'm willing to risk $1,000, okay, what's the best case scenario before I lose that money? Well, like I mentioned, when you use a 5X, it's $11,000 buffer. $11,000. You're at the bottom of the range. Do you think we're going to drop from here? Hold on for 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, being that we're at the bottom of the range and we're in a location where for the past 5 months we have bounced, do you think my risk is low? Do you think it warrants maybe stepping in front of some risk by having 3 positions down here and risking that? I think it is. Because here's the thing, guys. Let's just say you have $1,000 that you're willing to risk. All right? So you can risk $100 here, $100 here, and $100 here. That's $300. You still have $700. Now, let's say I'm wrong and we come down and we back test here and we start rejecting. Well, guess what? Now you lost a portion, maybe I say on a 5X, you're probably lost, I want to say you're going to lose about 10 to 15% on $300. Okay? Rather than 10 or 15% on $1,000. And if I am right, and we do sweep this and we start climbing higher, well, guess what? On this order where I originally had shorted, on my second order, my short, I had another position. Now I got forced order positions. When I get back up here, I can add the rest. And now you're adding on confirmation, but you're risking very little to the downside. Those who trade professionally, guys, can listen to what I'm saying and understand it. Those that are here to play this and treat this as a casino, they think this is stupid. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's dumb. You should know where it's going. Well, I don't. So you have to learn ways to step in front of risk, because you're going to do that in every single trade, but minimize that and have validation points and stick to those invalidation points. That's the hardest part. People want to think if they just hold on, it'll turn around. No, it rarely doesn't. And believe me, it happens to me. It happened to me a few weeks back. I was in a Pepe. Hold on, there was another one. Pepe on Undo, Tau, and AVAX trade. And when it dropped, I thought it was going to bounce, and I added to it, and it continued to drop. And it got to a point where I said, you know what? I looked at the high time frame and said, no, since I have a 5X, it's got to go all the way down here to get liquidated. And there was enough support above that I just have to be patient. I have to wait, and I can get out of it. And sure as shit, it took about 7-8 days. And guess what? Each and every single one of them went back and went above our original entry. I made 3% on AVAX. I broke even on Undo. I took a 17% loss on Pepe. Next day, it went 10% above my entry. So I would have made 10%, but you come to a point sometimes where you say, you know what, I'm fine. I was at one point 83% under, and I'm at 17. I'll go ahead and take it. And again, these are all positions that they're much smaller positions. But my point is that you're not always going to get it exactly right. But if you exercise patience, you set yourself up to minimize that risk, and by lowering your leverage, you have enough buffer that you don't really have to worry about on the few times that it doesn't go your way. So just make sure that if you do want to enter into long positions, doing at the bottom of the range. And I'm not trying to catch the bottom, because I think I'm giving myself enough buffer, a $5,000 buffer to scale in. And I think that's reasonable. I might not even get all of my fills in, but at least I'm bidding towards the bottom, towards an area that if you look left, historically bounces. It's the same conversation we had here, guys. If you guys go to my market update videos, I want you to look at the market update videos here in July. Look at the ones up here. What was I saying? Why would you think that we're not going to drop when we get here? This was my target on every one of these here. This was my target. And I specifically told you guys, if I have 5 months of data proving to me that we're going to drop here, what is your data? Where's your data? Show me your data that's going to tell you that this time it's different. Those were my exact fucking words. And what do? We dropped every single fucking time. Recognizing these patterns, guys, is what I do. It's how I get in front of these trades with a high probability factor. Not with the 100%, but with a high probability factor. And again, most of you guys by now who've been listening to me on a daily basis, when I do the hourly time frames, you know how difficult it is to get this measurement that I do almost every day? I show you guys different levels of different possibilities, and they hit. It's not easy when you're learning, but once you get it, it becomes easier. And even with that, you're not always going to be right. But hopefully you guys are picking up information. Well, not hopefully. I know you guys are, because you guys, I've been getting a lot of signups, not only to my Telegram, but to my Discord group, which is really, really rewarding and validating, because there's people that are like, I don't even want to join the Telegram. I just want to know how you figure this out. And they're going right to my Telegram group, because that's where I show you Every single day, I do things called morning brief videos. They last anywhere between an hour and 40 minutes. And I break it down in detail. Every single morning, it's a lesson. We go through basically the entire system, and we do it live. We literally take a coin live and we start trading it live based on those signals, and everyone gets to see how that works. And if you want to give that a try, guys, let me know. I'll send you the link to my Telegram, to my Discord, or if you want to just start off with my Telegram, make some money on the Telegram and then sign up to the Discord group. Hopefully you'll do that. But for right now, guys, I'll continue to give you these videos as much as I can on a daily basis if time allows. Sometimes I get really busy and I'm not able to, but I am doing it with much more frequency in these past couple of months than I was prior to that. So let's see how low we get into tonight, and then remember that we have non-farm payroll data. I think it's non-farm payroll coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure what the calendar is as far as when it comes out. They come out at 5:30 my time, which is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mine, I'm in Pacific Standard Time. So 5:30 in the morning, we may get another drawdown. And on that drawdown, that is going to affect the broader markets, which we know usually will trickle into the crypto market. So that may be the catalyst that we're going to see for us to get into this area here. And when we do, if we do better said, remember what happens on the weekends. Scam pump weekends. So in a perfect world, I would love to see the data for tomorrow is negative, drops the market, get us to at least fill some of these objectives here. All right, sorry guys. Get us to fill some of these objectives here, and then take the opportunity on the weekend to come up here and minimum back test this here. I'm not even calling for a recovery. I'm calling for a simple back test of here, maybe even a back test of here. I mean, it would be a gift from God if you can come back to this purple line over the weekend. That's being a little bit too optimistic in my opinion, but it could happen because scam pump weekends are known for that. They're known to pump unreasonable because, hence why we call it a scam pump weekend. But in any case, let's see at least what happens by tomorrow with Asia. Do we get down into the harmonic completion, or we can finally remove these? I'm going to remove this from our because we invalidated it with this candle here. Remember, when we broke this low, it invalidates the harmonic pattern to the upside. So this is invalidated. So we can take that out. And this is still on the table. This is perfectly valid. We actually hit this. Look at that. Remember that day? We hit it perfectly. I nailed that. And again, wasn't that difficult, because I told you guys ahead of time where's the probability going to be. Because, look, I cheated. Because, look, I looked to the left, and it's right here. Every single one of these times we hit, it wasn't that difficult to figure that out. It wasn't that difficult. And there it is right there. Now, look how close we are to that completion. So I'm thinking the completion tonight, or maybe tomorrow on that news, we get the last push down. And I think, guys, you really need to step in. You need to think about why you're here. And if you're here to make money, I think it's a good idea you start putting some bids to the downside. If you want to know exactly where those bids are going to be, or exactly when you should enter, sign up for my Telegram group, and I'll give you those plus more, because I also do altcoins as well. Everyone have a really good day.